So you've just passed your interview to teach in Japan, or you're simply doing your research as to what will be expected of you if I told you want to go down this route. I'm going to take you through all the steps, including common mistakes to avoid and documents that you will need to submit. Let's get you one step closer to Japan. My name is Upendanice Barasa. I moved to Japan to teach English from Kenya. If you're interested, subscribe. You don't want to miss it. Come on, join the bandwagon. Disclaimer, friends, before we get started on today's video, that I am finally coming to an end of the Teaching English in Japan series. I will have a few uploads going up to conclude all the informational bits about moving to Japan and the careers and teaching English here. But I'm trying to transition into lifestyle content and show you guys what life is like in Japan, a day in the life of an English teacher. You know me, going grocery shopping and all these things. So if this is something that you're interested in, please comment yes. Please just comment yes with an exclamation mark. I will get it. Okay. Let's talk visas. For your visa to even be processed, or after you've passed your interview, there are documents that your company is going to ask you to submit. And these documents are going to aid in the processing or the application of a document called the COE. COE stands for Certificate of Eligibility. Well, certificate of eligibility is like proof to show that this person has passed or has gone through all the stages that are required for them to get a visa, or they've gotten the job and they've been approved by the Japanese immigration office in Japan. And now you can go ahead and apply for a visa at the Japanese embassy in your home country. Okay. So the COE will be processed in Japan and it will be sent to you either physically or online. But I think in most cases it's sent online. But before that, we have documents that you have to submit to the company for them to process the COE. Are we together? Yes. What are these documents? Number one, you need proof of education letters. If you're a non-native speaker, you have to prove that for at least 12 years, English was the medium of instruction throughout your education system. The company will give you a template. The template will say something like, so-and-so, your name, went to this so-and-so school. The school will write your name, the school name, for 8 years, for example, if it's elementary school, and the medium of instruction was English. This letter must have the school letterhead. By the letterhead, I mean the mission, vision, the school badge, school motto, that thing. And then at the bottom, it must have a signature and a stamp to show that it's an actual letter from the school and it must be original. So this is a letter that you will have to take from all of your schools, secondary school, primary school, university, if you have to. At least if you have 12 years, that's okay. And then these letters, you'll have to collect them. The format must be the same. So the company will give you the format and every letter should read the same thing except for your name, the name of the school, basically. After that, we have the certificate of good conduct. Of course, this is the name this is the Kenyan name for it, but you have to go to the police, like the police office in your country, or the crime and investigation department. I don't know, in Kenya we call it the DCI, or yeah, I think it's the DCI, where you apply, they take your fingerprints and they run to see if you have any criminal record. So the equivalent of that in your home country, you need to have the certificate. So by the time you're applying for the COE, you need to have the certificate out. This one, you don't need the physical copy because most of them are done online. That one you can just scan, or if you have a link and send it to the company, it doesn't have to be submitted physically. But if you do have the physical copy, it's also okay. The next one is transcripts, university degree, or a letter from your university. So usually, if you have to submit to show that, yes, you do have a bachelor's degree, some people might send their original degree certificate. And if you send your original degree certificate, usually after it has done its work, processed everything, it's sent back to you. If you're in Kenya, it will be sent back to Kenya. If you're in the US, it will be sent back to the US. So you don't have to worry if you want to go ahead and submit your actual degree certificate. But if you're like me, who is a bit ish about it, you can submit your transcripts. And if it is transcripts, they have to be original. But take note, they won't be given back to you. So you'll have to go back to your university and apply for a new set of transcripts, which, to be honest, it's not difficult. The degree part is difficult. That's why they return them to you. But for transcripts, if you're giving your original documents, you won't get them back. So you can always go back to your university, apply for a new set of transcripts, and send your old ones. If you don't want to do that, you can go to a university and get a letter to show that, yes, so-and-so was in this university for this and this year. This was the year that they graduated. The company will give you the template as well. It must have the letterhead and a stamp and a date. So you can choose which one you want to go with, degree, transcripts, or a letter from your university. Next one, if applicable, your driver's license. So if you drive or you have applied to a driving position, you will have to provide your driver's license. Obviously, this one, I think you just scan the information page and then send it to them. And take note that if you've been offered the job and you have a driver's license, make sure you apply for your IDP or international driver's license that will enable you to be able to drive in Japan for at least 1 year. And then after 1 year, you can convert it into a Japanese driver's license. The next document, this one is not for everyone, but this is a mistake or a challenge that I encountered during my application process. So in Kenya, we typically have 3 names: your first name, middle name, and last name, right? Our birth certificate only takes 2 names, which is never your surname, just your first and second name, and then no surname. In my education, in my transcripts or education papers, my name order is different from my passport and my identification card. In Kenya, this is not a problem, but I encountered this problem with Japan because the correct name order is first name, second name, surname, or surname, first name, second name, or middle name. But my education certificates read second name, first name, surname. So instead of Nice Upendo Barasa or Barasa Nice Upendo, it's Upendo Nice Barasa, because that's just how I like to say my name, and my schools have always written my name like that. Obviously in Kenya it's not a problem, but in Japan, if your first name is Nice and your last name is Barasa, Upendo cannot come first. So for this problem, I had to get an affidavit. I had to swear an affidavit to show that Nice Upendo Barasa and Upendo Nice Barasa are one and the same person. So you will have to do this if one of your documents has 3 names and another one has 2 names, if there is a spelling error, if your middle name appears in one document and doesn't appear in another document, you will have to swear an affidavit. Not in all cases. This is something that the company will always tell you. If you just have Nice Barasa and another one reads Barasa Nice, that's okay. But if you have like your passport reading a name, a different name from what your education certificate has, that would most likely be a problem, and you'll have to swear an affidavit to prove that you are one and the same person, and it has to be original with a stamp as well, date, letterhead. I just went to a local court in my town and I did it. So if this is something that you know you might encounter because you know yourself, please prepare and just research what law courts or lawyers around you can help you to swear an affidavit. This one will be sent physically because they need the original copies. So everything that you need: letters of proof of education, at least 12 years. You need your degree, transcript, or a letter from your university. And lastly, you will need an affidavit in case your name has issues. But we are not done. You will also need some passport pictures. The company will give you the dimensions. Friends, make sure that those pictures are as they say. If they say 4 inches by 4 inches, if you have to, carry your ruler. Some of my friends last year had sent their pictures already to Japan and everything. When they received them, they were not the right dimensions. So they were asked to send another set of pictures again. My same friend, I don't know what happened, they were not matching. She sent documents like 3 times, and that's a lot of money. You know how much it is to send documents to a different country? A lot of money, like $50 or 5,000 Kenyan shillings, just one trip. So imagine if you have to send 3 times. You don't want to do that. About the proof of education letters as well, always scan them. Once you receive them, scan them. send them to the company and ask them to proofread, and they will tell you that they're okay, and then you can package them and send them to Japan. Don't make the mistake of just assuming and not going through them and not having to fact check or proofread them. And then when they arrive there, you have to resend another set of documents. It's going to waste your time and money. After all that is done, the company will now process your certificate of eligibility, which will be sent to you either online or via a courier service, mostly online. So once you have the certificate of eligibility, you will have to go to your local embassy and now apply for your visa. But for your visa application interview, there's no interview. But for when you go to apply, you will need a duly filled visa application form. The company is going to send you a link of the visa application form, and they will also send you a guide on what and where to fill on that form. They will circle in red and tell you, oh, write your name here, write this and this here. And there are parts where they're supposed to fill, they would have filled it already. Another document you will need is the contract or the employment letter, which, if you're from Kenya, listen and listen carefully. In other countries, this is not a problem. If you just had the letter of employment or contract sent to you, that's more than enough. But for the Japanese embassy in Kenya, you will need it stamped. So for us, we had to tell our company that the embassy has requested for the letters to be stamped and sent to us. So they had to stamp it and, authenticate it, and then they just scanned it and we printed them and we went with them to the embassy. And then you will need money. It's not expensive, but for the Japanese embassy in Kenya, we paid around, was it 2,500 and something? Maybe 3,050. I think it was around 3,050 or 2,800 and something Kenya shillings. That's an equivalent of like 20 US dollars. After that, you will have to wait for 3 days, only 3 days. And then after 3 days, they will send you an email or a message, or they will tell you, come on this date, and you go, and your visa will be ready. In most cases, if you've done everything right, your visa will not be denied. Yeah, if it's denied, it must be a very, very huge problem. Like you must have done something or not submitted a particular document. But once you go there, you just have to pay, wait 3 days, no interview, no nothing, just submit your documents. They will tell you a date to come back and your visa will be approved. I hope that this video was helpful. See you again next time, same place. Bye.